This is what life has looked like for us lately. Not too shabby, right? As we sail through the mesmerizing islands of French Polynesia, we're about as far away from civilization as you can be. The closest thing we've had to rush hour traffic looks something like this. Our trips to the supermarket have been replaced with this, and everywhere we turn, we're surrounded by this. But the only constant in a sailor's life is change, and now we're about to trade isolation for big city living. We've just arrived to the largest island in French Polynesia, Tahiti. This iconic island probably drums up images of lush tropical vibes, dazzling views, and an unmatchable underwater world, which, by the way, it totally has. But after months of exploring remote and often uninhabited islands, we're actually pretty stoked about a few luxuries and creature comforts that this urban jungle has to offer. But in true boat life fashion, things rarely go according to plan, and Mother Nature has some different ideas about our big city dreams. You just saw 41 knots?
41! So it's just kind of miserable in here right now. It's blowing a solid over 30 knots right now in this anchorage. It's not ideal. So one boat drag, I guess it is what it is, and this is really the only place to anchor anywhere close to town, so.
This is crazy. We're supposed to be on the sheltered side of the island. Look at how quick it goes up right there.
Yeah.
It's just like, boom, it just starts.
I just saw 40 knots.
You just saw 40 knots?
Yeah.
There was one boat dragging already. I hate that. It's like not ocean swells because we're behind the reef, but there's a lot of wind chop, and there's probably about maybe 2.5 miles of fetch. And so when you get 2.5 miles of fetch over
knots.
Water with like mid-30s of wind consistent, then you can get a lot of wind chop. And so if you look at the bows of the boats around, they're like coming out of the water and doing this. And luckily Delos is a big, heavy boat. And so she just kind of sits there and does this. And we have an oversized anchor, and we have about 50 meters of chain, a little over 150 feet. So that's good. So we're holding good. I feel safe. We just got to make sure nobody drags into us.
Or something breaks, like a snubber or something, right?
But we should be able to hold in this, no problem. We just can't really go anywhere. You can't really take the dinghy upwind. It's like a 3-mile dinghy ride to the dock from here, and that would just be miserable. So we'll just hang out.
While we're here waiting for this crazy wind to stop, I wanted to chat a little bit about sleep. So I've always had a really hard time falling asleep at night. I feel like my mind is going like 1,000 miles an hour. I don't know if any of you guys can relate to this. And also, if I don't get a full night's sleep, I basically become a gremlin. And I think Brian can vouch for this.
That's very true. Rested wife, happy life.
I know. So that's why I'm super stoked to say that today's video is sponsored by Beam. So for the last couple of weeks, I've been enjoying Dream Powder from Beam right before bedtime. It tastes like a healthy hot chocolate, and it has a special blend including reishi mushrooms, magnesium, and melatonin to help you get your best night's sleep. I like all the flavors, but my favorite is definitely the chocolate peanut butter. I was a bit skeptic in the beginning, but I feel like I really have been able to fall asleep faster and also waking up in a better mood, kind of like ready to tackle the day. So if you're like me and like to get a good night's sleep, you'll be excited to hear that for a limited time, Beam is now offering up to 50% off site-wide. So there's a link to click in the description below. It's shopbeam.com/sailing_SV-Delos. I'll also put a QR code that you can scan right here on the screen. Pretty huge sale, up to 50% off. It's awesome. Also comment below because I want to hear how you like it. I've really been enjoying it, but I want to hear from you. So yeah, I actually think Brian just screamed something about that the snubber needs to be checked, and I just saw 40 freaking knots on the wind meter, so we should probably go out and check that before it gets too crazy.
Going out into the storm. It's not even a storm. I don't know what this is. Gee. Ah, look at Maggie. When I went out on deck, if you didn't know any better, you'd think that we were out sailing in some pretty gnarly conditions on the open ocean. But nope, This is just life on anchor right now. As you can see, when the boat is moving around in strong winds like this, there's an incredible amount of force pulling on the chain. And so rather than allowing all of that to pull on the windlass, which could damage its mechanical components, we attach a line to the chain called a snubber, which allows all of the weight and force to be held on the deck cleats it's attached to. But with all the movement, I wanted to make sure it was holding well and not chafing on anything that could cause it to break.
Oh boy, it's like walking into a windstorm out there. It's exactly what it is. So I checked the snubber cast. There is a little bit of chafe on one side of it, but we've also been using that snubber for, you know, like 3 years now, and we always keep it in the same place. So we might just want to move it a little bit. We'll get another couple years out of it. I don't think the chafe is from now, and it's moving a little bit, but it's not that bad. There's probably like 3 to 4 foot waves now. We're also making a ton of power because the wind is pumping and the solar's pumping. We're putting in 26 to 30 amps. There's 29 amps at almost 27 volts. So 700 watts we're pumping into the batteries on average. That's almost like running a battery charger at the dock, right? Pretty crazy. It's always something. I was gonna go into town today and get some errands run, but I don't think we're going anywhere.
It's blowing a lot, and to go into town is like 4 mile, right?
3 miles.
3 miles into the wind and the waves, so it's gonna
But
be
the city's
bumpy.
calling. The big city's calling. Sierra's been asking for a playground for how many days now? 10 days? Hey, we're going to the big city. There, everybody ready? Here we go. Maggie?
Oh. Wind swept.
How's your head, Kaz? Is it alright? You have a bad headache?
I didn't have a headache before, now I have more of a headache.
This little 25 crank still.
We made it.
Tahiti, hello. What do you see, Sierra? What do you think about the big city? Ah, so many people. How many people?
10.
10 people? No, there's way more than 10. So many. First impressions of Tahiti?
I like it.
So-
You have some smush on there.
Oh, it's a big city, huh?
Yeah, it's great. It has a lot of cool shops. Everything is closed as per usual, whenever we come in and walk
Yeah, we always come in at the
the closed hour.
long French
But
lunchtime.
it's really nice to walk around.
Cars. That's weird. It's nice though.
Like,
Sierra, there's a playground.
Yeah, and things like laid out. It's like-
Playground, can you say it?
Sit down.
Yeah.
Is it fun?
Are you having fun? Okay, bye. Prepare to get my belly full. Sierra in there playing like crazy.
Yeah, she just disappears. You can't see anything. So I don't
She
know
hasn't
where
been
it
to one
goes.
of these in a while. Okay, 1 hamburger,
Thank you.
junior, royale cheese. Probably gonna get real sick.
As she's stuffing her face.
I don't care.
None.
And it is true, they don't have a quarter pounder with cheese. Pulp Fiction was right.
They don't call it a quarter pounder with cheese?
Oh man, they got the metric system. They wouldn't know what the fuck a quarter pounder is.
And what do they call it?
They call it Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese.
That's right.
What do they call a Big Mac?
Big Mac's a Big Mac, but they call it Le Big Mac.
Are you having fun?
No pee down.
You're gonna go play?
Yeah.
There she goes.
Sierra's playground dreams got double checked off the list, but the grown-ups had a little Tahiti wish list of their own.
Let's do this.
Are you ready?
I don't know.
Dun-dun.
We've heard it's pretty busy in there.
You're never gonna guess what this aisle is. 100% American. And everything is just in huge packs. Look at it. If you want anything giant sized, look at this, guys. It's a gallon of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce.
Those pickles though. That's a whole cucumber.
America. Cruiser life.
I know, right?
That is $1,100 worth of groceries in this cart. Is that hard to believe? We did splurge on a few things though.
I know.
Casa got a juicer.
I got a juicer.
I bought a real coffee machine.
We got some birthday present for
I
Sierra.
got some toys for Sierra. I got a bag of salt and vinegar chips for Sucker Bass.
Okay, let's try to get back to the boat in one piece.
This was our first major shop since we left Mexico about 4 months earlier, and it felt great to have Delos all stocked up again. We also applied for my long stay visa, which will allow me to spend a full year here in French Polynesia instead of the normal 90 days that Americans usually get. French Polynesia is a territory of France, and since Casa has a Swedish passport, which is part of the EU, she can stay here as long as she wants. And since I'm lucky enough to call Casa my wife, it works out that we can spend a whole year in this beautiful part of the world. With my visa sorted, we had pretty much ticked all the boxes off in the city, and so the next day, we were ready to see the wild side of Tahiti.
Oh, are you guys ready?
All right.
Let's go explore Tahiti.
As sailors, our horizons are often bound by the coastline, so it was a real treat to rent a car and explore French Polynesia's largest island. Our first stop is to venture into some of the iconic peaks that define Tahiti's landscape. And since lately, our highest elevation gain has been climbing up a coconut tree, we were keen to see what views awaited us at the top.
We're in search for some kind of swing over some kind of cliff, but as usual, we don't know where it is or anything, and we're not wearing proper shoes.
1, 2, 3. Oh, super boost!
So we got some information that the swing is gone, but the view is nice. So let's cross our fingers for that. Whew. How are you two doing?
Can't believe I left the baby carrier in the
Car?
Okay, you can walk there. How come you're out of breath?
Sierra's out of breath. Whoa, we're walking under this huge tree.
Whoa.
So,
Not many 3-year-olds get to do that.
yeah. Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Mom,
Yeah?
I'm too tired.
Are you tired?
Apparently living life on sandy atolls at sea level doesn't keep you in shape for hiking, but after 2 hours of heavy breathing and sweating profusely, we were rewarded with this.
Wow. Pretty high up. Okay, you're gonna go down for a minute.
Whoa.
Whoa.
That's so cool. Look at that view though.
Sierra, what do you see down there?
I see town.
You see town? You see buildings? Do you see bommies?
Yeah.
Where are the bommies at?
He's right there.
Yeah.
Where's the reef at?
Yeah.
It's everywhere, huh? Gorgeous. That's what's cool about these islands is you get the reefs
Yeah.
of the Tuamotus, but you get the mountains of the Marquesas. You have protected anchorages,
like a-
and then you have big mountains and hills and stuff.
Now we're starting the treacherous downhill run here. It's almost scarier to walk down, especially because it's so slippery. Whoa!
Yay! Sierra, good job.
We made it!
Go like this, yay!
We meandered along the coastal road, stopping at the many different natural wonders that dotted this incredible island at every turn. Tahiti really is as beautiful as it's made out to be, and we were especially impressed by the waterfalls.
I don't know how good this translation is going to be because my French is absolute shit, but this guy was just telling me that these are actually like kind of like holy waterfalls, or they're used mostly for prayer. And so you're supposed to take your clothes off, and then you go under the water and you touch the cliff. And apparently on the first Sunday of each month, that's when people come down and they kind of like pray.
There are at least 160 known waterfalls on this island, which is only about the size of San Antonio, Texas. This meant we stayed very busy exploring in a relatively small area, but eventually we were starting to lose daylight, so we took to the beach to finish off the day and enjoy one of Tahiti's signature fiery sunsets.
What is this place called?
Point Venus, I think?
The last stop on our Tahiti tour today.
Sunset stop.
It's been really nice.
Sierra, you
oh
still have
my
your shoes
god.
Oh no!
What happened, Sierra? Oh, your hands are still so dirty though. Oh, clean, okay. Sierra, what happened here? You became a dog.
Doggy
You're-
did Sandy.
Doggy.
Sandy
That's
doggy.
sandy you got. Look at those sandy paws.
Let's just get in the hose. Doggy needs a hose.
Yeah.
We're gonna hose you down.
Yeah.
Coons.
We've been here in Tahiti for quite a few days now and gotten a taste of the city life. It's been really, really nice to just like spoil ourselves. But it's time to get back to like Moorea, I feel like. I'm really stoked. Hopefully we can see some whales on the way because today is a really nice day. It's Sierra's birthday today. I can't believe she is 4 years old today. Oh geez. It's gone fast, but also like not gone fast. I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, she's turning 4 and she's just such an amazing girl. I can't believe she's been on the boat for like, you know, since she was 4 months old. Like she doesn't know anything else and she's such a trooper and I'm so proud of her for so many things that we've done just recently, like the passage and how good that went, you know, like almost 20 days at sea, and yeah, she's growing up and it's really amazing to see. So yeah, we're gonna celebrate her today, but she really wants a beach, so we're gonna head over to Moorea and get a little beach time in. Choo! Somebody got into her present super early! I come back here, and what are you doing? Ripped open your present?
Yeah.
Sierra, how old are you today? 1? You're not 1 year old, are you?
Yeah.
You are
She is
4 years old!
Yeah.
You're 4! Happy birthday, 4-year-old! I just went down to pee and Brian is screaming like, whales, whales, we have birthday whales! Yeah! You see the whales?
What are they?
You wish
Can
for
point 'em
birthday
out?
whales. That was a big animal.
Whoa!
Oh, no way!
Did you see that, Sierra?
Why?
That was amazing.
It's a birthday whale! What?
Hey!
Oh my god! Ah! Oh my god! Oh my god, we're coming right to the boat! Oh, Sierra, hold my hand, please. Where is it? Look at their hanging out!
Here, Sierra, put on your sunnies.
Oh my god! What? What is it doing?
Whoa! It's your happy birthday? Does everybody have hats? Okay, you ready? Should we light your candles? You ready? Yeah. Okay.
Birthday cake for Sierra.
Oh, come on. 4 candles and the number 4. Okay, we ready?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sierra. Happy birthday to you. Whoa, good job doing it again. Do it again. You gotta get them all. Whoa, one more. Yay! Good job.
Oh my god!
Love you. Happy birthday.
Did you have the best birthday ever?
Yeah.
Whales.
Now you get to eat cake and open presents. What do you want to do first?
Open the cake.
Okay.
Open presents?
Okay.
All right.
What is this?
She already got in through the window.
Oh.
Tomorrow. Rip into that, Sierra.
What is it? It's a medical kit! Dr. Sierra.
In the making house calls.
Love.
Goodness.
Taking
left to
care
play
of me when
doctor.
I'm sick.
You're gonna be able to fix Dad?
Every morning.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Piece of paper.
You're dead! Paging Dr. Sierra.
Is that good cake, Sierra?
Yeah.
So good cake. Have you had starving? Have we had dinner yet?
Oh no.
Just
Like 7.
Cake
Jazz
first.
eats more cake
Oh.
when she's hungrier than anybody I know.
Birthday parents. Most fun.
What defines a grotto? A dark, wet hole?
Cats.
I don't know.
I prefer moist.
It's actually tripping. What are you excited to see today, Sierra? Do you want to go look at some tikis?
No.
No. How high is that waterfall?
Hey, I'm not.
Do you want to walk all the way up there?
No.
No, me neither.
Woohoo!